was nothing short of a disaster, at least for those who stood in line for hours. Will getting a homecoming concert ticket be any easier this year? We have the answers.
And she's back. Carolina alum and CNN anchor Brook Baldwin comes back home to give women a leg up. We have the exclusive coverage.
And you've seen these all over Chapel Hill. Meet the man behind them. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the UNC School of Journalism and Mass Communication, covering Carolina in HD, this is Carolina Week.
Football season is proving to be a bust, at least so far. Not much to look forward to except maybe homecoming and the concert. But remember what it was like trying to get a ticket last year? Good evening, I'm Landon Dowdy.
And I'm Stephanie Lopez. Many of you spent hours waiting in line. Long lines and long waits, but no tickets in many cases. Francis Ralston reports things may be getting better this year.
Pitt,
Vanessa, can you scroll a bit?
and this year, Wale and Ace Hood. The homecoming concert is always a big hit at UNC. What's not usually a big hit is the ticket buying process. Last year, thousands of students waited in line, but only 600 got tickets at first. The rest had to come back and wait in line again the next day. Junior Christian Payne was one of them.
We were there until 9 or 10 at night, and then they told us, we were still in line in the Great Hall, and then they told us that we were not, in fact, going to get tickets that night.
A major inconvenience, one that the Carolina Union Activities Board hopes to avoid this year with new ticket purchasing software. Austin Gold, Assistant Director of Events Management, helped implement the change, which gives students the option to purchase tickets online.
For me, it was really important to make sure that our box office met the digital age of the Carolina campus.
Starting at 12:01 a.m. on October 3rd, students can log into the QAB website with their PID. They can select a specific seat for the show, a feature that has never been offered before.
Another new feature allows students to print their tickets at home, never having to show their face at the box office.
While this adds convenience for students, it cuts costs for QAB.
So we're really excited because it ultimately means more accessible sales, but also not as much expenses for us as an office.
Payne is excited as well.
Yeah, and also this eliminates the crowding, the long lines. I think it's great.
You can log on to carolinaunion.unc.edu/tickets starting this Thursday. In Chapel Hill, I'm Francis Ralston.
What does registration make you think of? Books, course handouts in the Steele Building? You might not think of the undergraduate bulletin, but maybe you should. Janelle Davis tells us why.
This book costs $2.71 to produce. One for every new student costs the school more than $20,000 a year.
I mean, I know where my out-of-state tuition goes now, so that's nice, but that's crazy. I think that's a waste of money.
Molly Oak does not use her undergraduate bulletin she received freshman year. Her book is now 3 years old, and some of the courses no longer exist. For example, Afro-American Studies is now called AAAD, African American Diaspora Studies. Instead of her book, Oak uses the online version of the course bulletin.
Everything's online. I mean, they have the exact bulletin online.
On the other hand, sophomore Elise McLaughlin prefers the book.
Computers don't make things easier all the time. Sometimes you just need to stick to the book.
Curriculum director Nick Seidentop believes it's important to have multiple options for students.
And we know that students utilize different types of resources in different formats, and so we want to provide multiple versions for them, so both the print version and the online version.
Seidentop says the school is currently considering ways to make the online bulletin more interactive.
Other universities like Cornell use the academic catalog management system. Here's how it works. You can click on a link for a short description of the course and also add it to your favorites. Another option is to search for a keyword, and all the relevant courses are shown below.
A user-friendly site is something Oak would like to see. Reporting from Chapel Hill, I'm Janelle Davis.
Getting a parking place on campus is a bear. We all know it. I know it. But a new lottery system put in place this summer was supposed to change things. Well, did it? Nicole Comparada tells us there's been mixed reactions.
Many benefits of being a senior at UNC. But finally getting a parking spot on campus is not one of them.
I think that a lot of people get frustrated because there's probably a better way to do this.
And she's not alone. The Department of Public Safety changed the parking permit process this summer from a first-come, first-served basis to a lottery with a 2-week entrance period. It was supposed to make things easier. But did it? DPS spokesman Randy Young says yes.
I think the baseline default is if it goes well, we're not going to hear about it. And we didn't hear a lot of comments at all this year.
Young says DPS had nearly 3,000 permits to issue.
We saw just shy of that in terms of the folks that registered. So there are still permits that are out there.
Granted, many of the permits left are located in the RR lot on Estes Drive. The lot is 2 miles north of Franklin Street. Senior Brian Fanny says he would rather find cheaper options.
I mean, I just feel like, why pay for something that's so far away when you can kind of, if you know the parking situation around town, you can get around it.
Young says there are other ways to get around campus too, such as registering your bike. But that's a chance that students with early morning jobs like Kate Matthews just can't take.
Instead, Matthews applied for hardship parking and got a spot on campus after all, even though it's still more than a mile from her dorm. So now she just schedules in time to unload things from her car before taking it back to the lot.
It's not, super close, but it's a spot that's not, a 20-minute bus ride or walk away.
And that's a justification many students who lost the lottery will have to tell themselves throughout the year. In Chapel Hill, I'm Nicole Comparato.
While some students might be disappointed with the parking lottery, they may be happy to know that there will finally be something replaced at our beloved Gumby's. Topper's Pizza will be moving in there where Gumby's used to be in early December. The Chapel Hill location will be the 3rd in the state. But don't expect it to look anything like Gumby's, and there won't be any putty sticks either. Not to worry, they're going to call them Topper Sticks.
Toppers may be opening, but the federal government is shutting down. It's been that way for a couple days now, but students here at Carolina aren't expected to experience much change, at least for a while. Students with federal financial aid continue to receive their loans. Officials say the university will continue to fund project grants and research. For more information, you can visit the university's Office of Research Communications website at research.unc.edu. Students, faculty, and staff are invited to attend the installation of UNC's new chancellor. Carol Foltz will become the university's first female chancellor and the 11th overall. The event will be on October 12th on University Day at Polk Place at 1:30 p.m.
Artists usually work with paint and canvas, right? Well, not always. Some think much, much bigger. And reporter Delia D'Ambra is live in Chapel Hill with the story. Delia?
That's right, Landon. I'm in downtown beautiful Chapel Hill, admiring all the murals we pass by every day. Finishing one mural, though, has been a long time coming for one local artist.
Does this look familiar? What about this? Or this? Murals we see every day, all coming from the steady hand of alumnus and artist Scott Nurkin. He says he uses the most basic instruments to bring his creations to life.
A pencil and a ruler and a level in the beginning, and then just paint and brushes.
Nurkin graduated from UNC in 2000 with a degree in studio art and immediately became an apprentice to the artist who created this Franklin Street mural, Michael Brown.
We worked on everything. You got Pantana Bob's down there with the football players, and he worked on that.
Nurkin ventured on his own a few years ago. He considers his time as an apprentice well spent.
When I was doing it, I was very happy to do it. I learned just to paint just like Michael did. He taught me so much.
Nurkin has painted at least 5 different murals that line the halls of He's Not Here bar, but the one he's currently working on is on a completely different scale.
The side of the building. Modeled after a 1941 postcard titled Greetings from Chapel Hill, the mural's bold letters outline iconic town scenes, something He's Not Here owner Mark Carroll is excited about.
I love it. I think it's awesome. I think that you can look up there and see all the kinds of sort of how it ties in the whole town of Chapel Hill.
Nurkin can only work on the image at night or on weekends, taking each day letter by letter.
I'm hoping to get this A done today, and maybe I'll get halfway through the P before I got to go home for dinner.
And as you can tell, he got that A and P done almost, and there's a little bit more to pull together to get this thing going, but he promises he'll be out here every night and weekend until he finally gets it completed. Back to you, Landon, at the desk.
Wow, those are so neat. Thank you so much, Delia. That's Delia D'Ambra in downtown Chapel Hill.
It's only October, but May's right around the corner. It's about time to wrap up college for the graduating class of 2014, and these seniors were doing just that, literally. Seniors got together at Keenan Stadium to say cheese for their class photo, and it was a whiteout. Everyone dressed in white shirts to gather at the tar pit and show their Carolina pride. They clapped, gave their best fighting punch, and swayed to the theme song.
Baldwin returns to Chapel Hill, and she has some words of wisdom for Carolina women. That story coming up.
Connect with us online by liking the Carolina Week Facebook page and following us on Twitter at Carolina Week UNC.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
American women are coming closer and closer to breaking through the proverbial glass ceiling. According to the latest numbers, almost 40% of managers are women. Just look around campus.
That's right, Stephanie. Most of the students here at UNC are women. Those obstacles are broken. Others have remained, and we have two reports. First, Sydney Harris tells us about a program here on campus designed to give women a leg up.
Katie Harp is a student, but she's also an entrepreneur. She works at a 1789 on East Franklin Street. But owning her own business is nothing new.
I've been making money online since I was 11.
1789 is a business incubator founded to help students and the surrounding area's entrepreneurial ecosystem. Harp has bigger plans. She wants to make an impact in the business world.
There's not a lot of female entrepreneurs, and that's something that I really want to push the boundaries, and I want to push through the proverbial glass ceiling.
Dean of UNC School of Journalism and Mass Communication, Susan King, says she witnessed the women's movement firsthand. She says more women will make it to the top.
It's still an oddity to have a woman at the very top. Corporate America is male, but give it time. When all of this students' graduates go, there's going to be more women at the top.
King has created the Women in Media Leadership Series, where successful women visit the school. King says the purpose is to highlight all the fields where women are succeeding.
But you just can't stop a woman who's made it when nobody was saying yes to her, when they were saying no, and when she believes. That woman will always bring success.
King has no doubt women are moving in the right direction, but even with the resources available at UNC in 1789, Harp's success comes with obstacles, many of which have to do with the fact she is a woman.
There's a lot of people who don't take me seriously, or who see like, oh, you're a girl and you're trying to code something, like, what are you doing? Why don't you just hire a guy who can do it better? But don't listen to them, because you can do anything that a guy can do.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Sydney Harris.
And we have an example of the Women in Media Leadership Program, an example of a successful woman returning to Carolina to share her story. The story that takes Brook Baldwin from this anchor desk to the CNN anchor desk. Madison Way reports.
You can see Brook Baldwin on CNN every weekday on the screens of Carroll Hall. But this weekend, she left the anchor desk and appeared at UNC in person. She had a message for all female journalists.
Be aggressive, be yourself, be humble, stick up for yourself.
She shared that and more with students at a Women in Media Leadership speech.
Baldwin began her career here at UNC. She started as a camera operator and eventually moved on to be on the anchor desk at Carolina Week.
Things have changed in the media industry since Baldwin left Carolina Week, especially for women.
Like, I remember graduating here, and I remember Dr. T made me like pull out my crazy earring and cut my hair to be like anchor hair. And I remember like rolling my eyes, but doing it. And I feel like, though, through my, however long it's been for me, 12 years in this business, I think that women are freer to express themselves.
Professor Charlie Tuggle, or Dr. T, is the former director of Carolina Week.
He remembers Baldwin's drive, not her anchor hair.
I predicted fairly early on that because of the drive, that Brook was going to do well. You have to have the drive, you have to have the goods, but then some other things have to happen in your favor.
I'm Brook Baldwin. Breaking news just into us here at CNN.
Baldwin says it takes a little bit of magic to make it in the news industry, but she urges women to use their strongest resource, each other.
And my biggest piece of advice is form a group of fellow women who help one another, not try to keep others down.
Now, Baldwin relies on fellow female journalists and Tar Heels.
I'm a Duke hater and a Carolina lover, and I wear it proudly. And again, it goes back to that helping one another, whether you're helping women, helping, Tar Heels.
This weekend, she cheered on the Tar Heels along with another woman making history, Chancellor Carol Folt. And Baldwin says just being back in Chapel Hill brings it all back together.
Sounds so cheesy, but when your world becomes so like this, it's nice to just step back and remember where you came from.
Reporting in Chapel Hill, I'm Madison Way.
Have you ever seen 200 bikes in one place? The town of Carrboro will when it hosts the 2013 North Carolina Bike Summit this month. With bike racks and lanes throughout Carrboro, bikers can be seen in every direction. This is one of the reasons why the town has volunteered to host the NC Bike Summit this year, to show off their success in creating a biker-friendly community. The public can join in on events such as movie night and cruiser ride. Heidi Perry, treasurer of the Carrboro Bike Coalition, says the town will bring in temporary parking just to accommodate the large numbers of participants. It takes place October 18th through the 20th.
Some pretty nice weather.
I know, the weather was incredible this weekend, and I hope that it continues on through the week. We'll be back with Katie McGee.
Come on, man.
Danse, balance la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence dans ma belle robe blanche.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Good evening. Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Katie McGee. Now taking a look at the next couple of hours in our fast forecast, we can see 8 p.m. tonight, we're going to be at about 68, clear skies. So if you are heading out tonight, make sure you bring that jacket and hang on to it, because tomorrow morning for those 8 a.m. classes, we'll be waking up at 59 degrees, partly cloudy skies. And then by lunchtime, noon, we'll be in the upper 70s with mostly sunny skies. However, looking at our current satellite image just right now, 5 p.m., we can see mostly clear skies for majority of the eastern seaboard. However, this cloud mass to our west of us is in association with all of this rain. However, right now we're all clear because of this high pressure system, which is clockwise rotating winds as well as sinking motion. So with all of that sinking motion, it does not allow for a lot of air to rise and form clouds. Now looking ahead tomorrow in the morning, again, we see this high pressure system keeping all of this rain backed away from us. So we will not expect rain for the next couple of days here in North Carolina. However, what we really want to keep our eye on these next couple of days is this cold front to our north. Now, as we head on to tomorrow night, we can see that start to rotate again counterclockwise around that high pressure system, and it will move in, bringing us a chance of rain as well as cooler temperatures later on this week into the weekend. Now looking just at tonight, again, that high pressure system, mostly clear skies, as well as a light breeze dipping down temperatures to the mid-50s. So grab your jacket if you're heading on out tonight. Those clear skies should persist for a majority of the day, although there will be some partly cloudy skies. However, unlike today, we will have a very humid, warm day, getting into the mid-80s with 75% humidity. And that humidity with all of that moisture is also staying in the tropics. Again, south of Florida, we can see Tropical Depression Jerry. Now, the National Hurricane Center in Florida has given us a 50% chance of developing into a hurricane. However, once it moves along its trajected path, it will move up into the Gulf of Mexico, not bringing us any rain here in North Carolina, but it will make a couple of these states wet. Now, if you are heading up to Blacksburg this weekend for the game against Virginia Tech, 12:30 game, an early tailgate, make sure you bring your jacket. It will be in the mid-60s, and for kickoff again at 12:30 in the low 70s. So again, grab your jacket. No need for an umbrella. It should not rain tomorrow or on Saturday, with clouds building throughout the day, and then post-game, we'll see our high in the upper 70s to low 80s. Now looking at our 5-day forecast, again, you can see temperatures in the mid-80s for most of the day, about 7 degrees more than we should be for this time of year, with beautiful clear skies. But again, as that cold front comes through, we can see that 60% chance of rain coming in on Monday, bringing temperatures back down to the mid-70s, which really is where we should be for this time of year.
Yeah, that's what I would think, but humidity tomorrow?
Yeah, very humid.
Watch out for that.
No, it's sticking around for us, as well as that 80-degree temperature the first week of October.
Wow.
Who'd have thought?
Unreal. Well, thank you so much, Katie.
Thank you, guys.
So football season's over, right? Well, basketball's right around the corner, and we'll hear what Old Roy has to say about that coming up in sports.
If I had asked, will I lose control on meth? Can meth really make you violent? Or if I had asked, will meth make me steal from my own family? I wouldn't be asking my brother.
Where's your money? Where is it? Give it to me! Give it!
I'm starving. What's for breakfast?
Guten Tag!
Johannes, Franz!
I bring you arts-enriched Raisinblams, fortified with increased test scores and creative problem-solving skills.
It's good!
And good for you. Bobby? Susie? Don't worry, that's just the power of the arts!
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Nicole Comparato. Get a load of this guy. Well, for at least the next year, we'll have to get used to ECU fans acting like they deserve something. Days have passed, game footage has been reviewed, and it's settled. The football team's 31-55 loss to ECU was as bad as it looked. At least that's how head coach Larry Fedora felt at his press conference. Fedora says the team just isn't clicking yet, but some players think attitude has more to do with the loss.
I don't know if that was, we weren't respecting our opponents or we just thought they were the same ECU that we played the years prior. But it definitely seemed that we definitely came out there with the mindset that they were just going to lay down for us.
With that loss, Carolina moves to 1-3 overall and 0-1 in the ACC, which has some students asking the age-old question, when does basketball season start? Thanks to a new NCAA rule that allows practice to begin earlier than before, it's sooner than you think. I caught up with the team at UNC Basketball Media Day.
UNC men's basketball coach Roy Williams doesn't get the world of media. In the latest preseason rankings of his team from One Sports magazine, the squad did not place in the top 25 for point guards, or the top 10 for front court, or the top 10 for back court. But overall,
now guess where they ranked us? 5th.
While the team may deserve that ranking, he says there's still a long way to go after starting practice. First, he needs to figure out who will replace those who left in the starting lineup and what that lineup will look like.
I hope to stay big, but what I've got to do is pick out the best 5 guys and put them on the court. But I do hope to stay big.
Last season, Williams shook it up and went small, adding P.J. Harrison to the lineup. But now Williams wants to return to a more traditional big Carolina lineup, which shouldn't be too hard considering there are 7 guys over 6'7" on the roster. James Michael McAdoo turned down the NBA draft last year, but knows he has areas he can improve.
I think the biggest thing is just going out there and just, taking the things that I know I could have done better, on the defensive and offensive end, as well as just trying to be a better leader on this team.
Williams says McAdoo has had a great summer, and one of the biggest turnarounds has been the performance of Joel James.
Basketball starts up here, so if you have the confidence, you can do anything.
Another option Williams is thinking about is a small lineup, with 2 point guards on the court at the same time.
Oh, I love it. With 2 guys that really know how to play the game, like to get other people involved, and can attack the basket like we can on the court at the same time is going to make it easier for everyone else.
But for now, Williams says it's all about playing around with the options and freelancing a bit, as he calls it.
At this moment, I don't know who we will have the first game, second game, third game, that kind of thing. And I'm hopeful that that'll help us out a heck of a lot down the road, too.
Another big subject at Media Day was P.J. Harrison. Williams says he's nearly been running the forward to death and that Harrison will take the court sometime this season. Just when still remains unclear. Well, I don't know about you two, but I don't think I'm ready for basketball season yet. I want to see how the next 2 games against Virginia Tech and Miami will fare out for the football team. What do you think?
I think so. Miami is really, really good. I mean, they're 14th in the nation. So it should be a good game. Well, hopefully we can pull it through.
I'm excited for that game. It's a night game, but even though Miami might be a tough game to beat, we might have some luck in Blacksburg, Virginia. If we can pull it together, I think we might beat Virginia Tech.
At the rate the team's going now, it's who knows. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Nicole.
20,000 crammed into Carborough this weekend. We'll tell you why next.
If you have a story idea, call Carolina Week at 919-843-8292 or email us at carolinaweek@unc.edu. And if you have questions about this program, write to us at Carolina Week, Campus Box 3365, UNC-CH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina 27599. Be sure to check out Carolina Week online at carolinaweek.org.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Pack.
Red state. Blue state. Vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown. Downtown. Night owl.
Early bird.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities, our families, even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Lots of fun and music in Carborough this past weekend. It was the Carborough Music Festival celebrating its 100th anniversary. But folk music wasn't the only interaction. More than 180 acts in the indoor and outdoor venues went on throughout the day. Some performances were interactive, while others provided mellow tunes for sitting back and enjoying the beautiful fall weather. This all-day event entertained an estimated 20,000 students, families, and local music buffs alike. Well, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week. Thanks for watching. Good night.